Hey guys, today we're talking about adding integers, so this is your title. Make sure you write it down. All right, go ahead and write this down for me. Same sign, add the numbers and use the common sign. So same sign, keep and add is what I like to say. So when we see the same sign, for example, 8 and 4 are both positive, we add them together to get 12, and we keep the sign, which is positive 12. Or we just write it 12. Same with 6 and 7, even if the 7 is in parentheses. 6 plus 7 is 13. And we don't need the plus sign in front of it, but if you want to, you can have it. But we as people assume the best in others, so we also assume that 13 is positive. Negative 8 plus negative 4. Okay, this is where it comes into play. Just like when we started at 8 and we got 4 more bigger, we start at negative 8 and we get 4 more negatives. So 8 and 4 make 12 and we take their sign. Now, when we look at two signs next to each other, it looks a little goofy. So that's why we like to put the parentheses in. So for example, negative 6 plus negative 7 is still 13. So we add the numbers and we use their common sign. They both are negative, so we have negative 13. Make sure you have those examples written down. Okay, now your turn. Find the sum of these for me, and I will be back in just a second to show you what I did. It's important that you use a red pen to check your work. All right, now unpause the video, and we are starting here. 3 plus 4, same sign, keep and add, so we get 7. 6 plus 9 is 15. A negative 3 plus a negative 4, add the numbers, use the common sign. 6 plus 9 is still 15, but use the common sign. Okay, now let's look what happens if you don't have the same sign. For different signs, you take the difference between the numbers and you use the sign with the greater absolute value. So in this one, we're going to take their difference because we have a negative 6 and a positive 1. So their difference, 6 minus 1, is 5. I'm going to take the sign of the 6 because it has a greater absolute value. So we're at negative 5. Real world connection. If I were in debt $6 and I made, or 6 Petruska bucks, and I made a Petruska buck, I now only owe 5 Petruska bucks. Okay, over here, 5 plus negative 9. 9, take away 5 is 4, and this has the greater absolute value, so it's a negative 4. All right, your turn to try. Try G and H for me, and I'll be back in just a second to show you what I did. Okay, so you should have paused the video, and at this point, we've got negative 7 and 6, so we're subtracting 6 take away from 7, and we get 1. This 7 is the bigger absolute value, so it's a negative 1. Negative 8 plus 4. 8 take away 4 is 4, and the greater absolute value is negative 8, so it's a negative 4. What would have happened if it looked like this? Go ahead and write this in. This is your I. 8 plus a negative 4 is still 4, but this time the 8 is the greater absolute value and he's positive, so it's positive 4. All right, here's your chance to try these. Okay, but first, let's go back and let's talk about opposites and absolute value again. These first three you should be able to do on your own just from this slide. But absolute value first has to happen when you see it in problems like this and this. So let's set this one up together. If you want to pause the video and try 1, 2, and 3 and then unpause it, now is your chance. Okay, so for number 4, you're going to first take the absolute value of negative 47, which is 47, and then add 0. Down here, you know that this is an opposite of a negative 20. So it's a positive 20. The opposite of negative 20 is positive 20. Bring down your absolute value of 46 and bring down your negative sign. Okay, now you're ready to go with the other ones. Pause the video and I'll be back to show you what I did. All right, here we go. Negative 23 plus 30. Different signs, so we subtract. We take the sign of the greater, so subtract 23 from 30, and we get a positive 7 because 30 is the greater absolute value and he's positive. 93 negatives plus 86 positives. So negative 93 plus 86, take 93, take 86 away, and we get 7. And since 93 has the greater absolute value and he's negative, the whole answer is negative. These ones have the same sign, so we keep the sign and we add them. 38 and 54 make 92, and it's negative. On this one, 47 plus 0 is 47. Down here, we did the opposite of negative 20, which was 20. We're subtracting from that the absolute value of negative 46, which is 46. In this one, we can think of it as an addition problem. This one's a little bit trickier, so please star it. It's a hard problem. 20 plus negative 46. He has the bigger absolute value, so we get 26 negatives. And down here, these guys have the same sign, so keep the sign and add them together. That's all I have for you today, so I will see you next time.